guys, it's that girl Cece, and we are on location.
That's right.
Today we have a very special guest.
I made it, people. It's official now. I could die tomorrow. I'm happy now. I'm here, baby. I'm with the GMS.
I'm with the GM. Alex,
beautiful.
the GM of Test of Strength.
Beautiful. We're live on location in Waterbury, Connecticut, behind the scenes at Dear Norma 3. Stressful day, but it's not that stressful because Cece got my back. I don't really got to do much today.
Yep. So how you been doing?
Been doing okay.
Yep.
Been doing okay. You know, they say idle hands are the devil's playthings, right? So as long as I stay busy, I'll be fine.
Yep. So tell us about you being the GM.
I've been the general manager of Test the Strength and the Belltime Club for about 7 years now. Actually, no, a little longer than that. About almost 9 years, actually.
Wow.
Me and Wagner linked up at the end of 2014. My nephew started training at Test the Strength at the school that was in Watertown at the time, maybe 10-minute drive from here. Before it grew and we laid roots in East Hartford. But yeah, we've been doing this a long time, and it's crazy how the world kind of brings everybody back together. He's a Kowalski guy. I'm a Kowalski guy. I got trained by Perry Saturn, who was one of his, classmates, same system. We get it from the root, Luke Des, Kowalski, then us. So it's beautiful. And we linked up, we have the same, basically the same way that we train, our students. We have the same goals in mind. And, he focuses more on the in-ring stuff. I focus more on the behind the scenes and the storytelling and the character. But together we make magic, and that's how we're here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So piggybacking on what you said, how long have you been in the wrestling scene?
Officially, I started in the wrestling business in 1997. That's when I started training with Perry Saturn. But I wasn't on the scene consistently. Life happens. 2003, my son Jeter was born. He kind of became the priority. I had to step away from the business. Couldn't make that sacrifice that so many others make. But what's meant for you is yours. You know what I mean? So the world brought me back, and here I am, and I'm telling stories with my friends and my students, and my son got to grow up, in the business, and it's only bigger and better from here.
Yeah. So I see you design a lot of your gear. Mm-hmm. So where did you learn this craft?
Honestly, it started with Sharpies and paint markers and spray cans. I grew up in the Bronx, in New York City, during the evolution of hip hop, right? So, the B-boys actually comes from the Bronx Boys Rocking Crew. That's where that term comes from. And, my brothers and my cousins and my neighbors, they were all B-boys. We would break dance at the park on the cardboard boxes, at Crotona Park. And, with that, part of that culture was graffiti and bubble letters and gradients and paint drips. And, we would sneak into train yards and we would call it, bombing trains. And you can't say that now because everybody's sensitive. But back then, bombing a train meant that we went from the front of the train to the back and sprayed the whole train, So that was, that's how it started. It went from bombing trains to, bombing tracksuits. And it's gotten crazier from there. The T-shirts I design, the canvas on the ring, the title belts, the posters. It's all in-house. We do everything ourselves. So it's a beautiful thing. And now we branch out and other companies come and ask us for help in those departments. And I'm more than glad to do it. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
My favorite wrestler of all time. That's tough. That's tough to say because there's so many. Mm-hmm. I can tell you who made me fall in love with pro wrestling. Bret the Hitman Hart made me fall in love with pro wrestling. Everything that he did was just so crisp and so clean, and he was the first person I ever saw live up to their moniker. Like everybody's got these little nicknames or whatever, but he was the excellence of execution, and everything he did was excellently executed. You know what I mean? So it was easy to believe it. He wrapped me up in the world and he brought me into it. And then, from there, it opened up my eyes to other types of wrestling. Bret Hart was my favorite wrestler, but he wasn't my first introduction to pro wrestling. I'm Puerto Rican. So, Carlitos Colon and Tenete, Savio Vega, those guys have a big place in our culture and in my family,
Yeah.
My aunt would go to the shows in Puerto Rico drunk and throw bottles at the boys, and then afterwards she'd make them all food, So it was, it's something that's always been a part of my upbringing. I mean, my grandmother's favorite wrestler was a wrestler named Black Georgie. A lot of people don't know who he is. You probably can't find footage of Black Georgie, but he wrestled in Puerto Rico in the 70s, and you couldn't tell her nothing about Black Georgie, So, so that's where it came to be. And then I guess from Bret it evolved to Rey Mysterio, to Perry Saturn, not just because he's one of my trainers, he was my trainer, but he was just so smooth in the ring. And, I'd be hard pressed not to say Wagner Brown and probably who I think is my favorite wrestler of all time. If I have to pick one, it's probably Thomas Santel. Thomas Santel might be the best in-ring general I've ever seen in this game. And I'm also blessed to be able to call him one of my friends. So thank you, Tom, for everything. I appreciate you, brother.
Nice. So what would you say is your biggest achievement in your career so far?
My biggest achievement in life, my greatest achievement in life, and it's cheesy, but I'm sure Caesar would agree with me, is being a dad. It's the greatest thing that I've ever done. It is my proudest achievement. And if that's the only thing that I ever achieved in life, trust me, I would have died fulfilled. I love seeing my kids grow up. They both graduate high school this year. My heart is full, swollen, so I can't wait for that. But if you're asking me professionally, I think my biggest professional achievement was being able to take Test of Strength from just a school that ran little training days where other students would come or veterans would come and invest their time to help our students get better, to the first Fight for Your Dreams. The first Fight for Your Dreams was supposed to be a one-off, right? We weren't supposed to run another show after that. There's no way that we're going to sell this place out. Well, I turned 250 people away at the door.
Wow.
And another company spent a lot of money to bring in a lot of TV guys 15 minutes down the street, and they couldn't draw. So it's one of those things that I'm very, very, very proud of. Our boys did that. We told an amazing story that night. We saw the debut of Ryan Frost and El Jabroni, who gave us a magical moment. Thomas Santel, see how it comes back to that, and Jay Freddy gave us a match that was worthy of the Tokyo Dome. Look up Fight for Your Dreams 1, Thomas Santel versus Jay Freddy. It's on YouTube. I guarantee you've never seen a wrestling match like that. It'll change your life. A hell of a moment. And to be able to crown Bobby Ocean the first ever Test of Strength champion was a beautiful moment too. So that whole night, the fact that we did it as a unit, as a team from the ground up, no sponsors, no corporate backing, none of that. Just me and Wags from the gutter up, and we did it, and it was a beautiful thing, and it keeps growing, So I'm blessed to that, and I think I'll continue to have more and more moments as we go on,
Now, if you could do it all over again, would you change anything?
No, because how am I going to improve on God's plan, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing you could do. You can make all the plans in the world. God has other ideas. That's what's going to happen. So I wouldn't change anything, because while I did miss out on some of the things that I wish I did get to do professionally in this business, I have moments that I could never replace that mean so much more. I was my son's first word. I was the first person that my daughter walked to. Mm-hmm. I was there the first day of school.
Right.
I haven't missed a single birthday or a Christmas. I can say that to this day, since September 14th, 2003, to this day, I say I love you to my children every day, and I've never missed a day. So there's things like that I would never change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome. No, yeah, it's good. Now, from GM to GM, mm-hmm. What's the best advice you could give me?
Cece, don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't stop. Don't stop. It's easy to work with you. Honestly, I deal with people that have been in the business 25, 30 years. pains in the ass. But you come in with the right attitude. You have that smile that lights up the world, and you know what to do as far as bringing out the reaction from people that you want.
Yeah.
And that's something that you can't teach. That's just a natural thing. That's that it. You know, when they talk about the it factor, that's what that is. And as Dusty Rhodes used to say, you have it. You are it. You can't sell it. You can't give it away. You know, that's you, Cece. And as long as you keep going, you keep watching video, you keep struggling, you keep coming to the dojo and beating up my boys, there's no stopping you, mommy. And that's going to be my next crowning moment, is the day that I get to make you the Tested Strength Women's Champion. That's going to be beautiful.
Thank you for everything. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for coming.
Love you, mommy. The GMS, all right?
The
Check
GM.
it out. New HS merch coming for the GMS this summer. Look out, okay? Have a good one, mommy. Gotta get back to the show.